if you are a person who sells eggs in a market, you should be the least person who can start a war. These guys are opening a can of worms that they think, there is this attitude that the majority of people who have gotten into government, either from Azimio, when they are governors, MPs, and those other seats, or either they are in Kenya Kwanza, president, and all those structures.
Yes.
They think that 5 years is such a long time that they don't care, they can do whatever they want. And also, if it is 10, they think 10 years is a long time. These people should not forget that at one time, Nebuchadnezzar ruled, where do you call that empire? Nebuchadnezzar ruled it, Babylon. After that one, after Babylon, then there were the Medes and the Persians. The Medes and the Persians were ruled by Cyrus.
Yes.
After Cyrus, we went to Greece, where they had Alexander the Great. A young guy was young. He took over power in his 20s and actually died at 32. But at 32, he had conquered the world, the then known world, all the way to North Africa towards India, using a horse. But he died all the same. His time came and went. After Alexander the Great, we had the Roman Empire. We had powerful people like Julius Caesar. These were very powerful empires. But empires come and go. Trust me, they come and go at their time. 10 years is such a small time to play politics of revenge. Because if you are selling eggs in a market and you are very quick at starting petty wars, because I call this one a petty war, it adds no value to you. Those are just communication papers that could be moving. In the morning you go to NCBA, you just give some mutua barua, a drop barua demand letter at NCBA.
Yes.
This and this and this, they respond back. Government is run through bureaucracies of correspondences. Serikali is not run through word of mouth. Serikali inakuwa run in a paperwork. That is why when you are working in government and you need something, even in a university or any government institution, kuna vile hiyo barua huwa inaenda. You take it somewhere, they say received, stamp it, they forward it. They always write forwarded to the person. You also put it forwarded until it comes back to you. Government is not run through word of mouth in political rallies. I would urge the president, because he has worked in government, is aware of that bureaucracy. The deputy president was a DEO. Is aware of that bureaucracy. And majority of these people that even he placed back to work are people who have worked in government. I would request them to forget about these petty wars and petty politics of jumping on behind a pickup to begin holding microphones in a marketplace and answering opposition. You should be able to stand there and tell those people who are listening to you that that thing we promised you, it is already done. So even if opposition is talking, let them continue talking. And you say that one we have done that way. Then we have a government that is setting the country on a right trajectory.
Yes.
But beginning to open petty wars, I have a problem with it. And the next thing that I think the president really need to be careful about, I know these are things that sometimes people will raise them up later. The kind of appointment that the president is doing will also hurt him. And I know one day oppositions will come to put it just black and white. When you have people who stood with you silently and nobody knew about them, I think they should continue to be silent, even when you are in power. By exposing them and giving them positions in public, and people know them, some of them have got cases. Remember, nobody do not have, hata sahi, serikali kitaka kutafuta na kesi, itapata kuna problem. You can't tell me that because these people are in court, now because their charges have been dropped, which looks like it is politically dropped, now these people are so clean that they deserve to sit at the highest decision making of running a country that has got only two. After God's, it is this Kenyan. You don't expose those people to that kind of exposure. You should put them to be silent as they are. And one thing I would advise even people whose cases are being dropped, there is one thing they need to know about serikali. Government, do not forget. They can keep quiet, but government, serikali, haisahau. So if you killed someone and your case has been dropped, it is not until you die, anybody will come after you. just like they are now following these people. Like that case we were talking about here, maneno ya taxation.
Yes.
Even the law that the Senator for Nandi want to bring up. Cherargei looks like a comedian. Cherargei, by all standards,
yes.
The guy, even the way God created him, a very handsome comedian. He should stop these dramas. He's now entertaining us. He's now better than Eric Omondi. Cherargei knows very well that the law that he's trying to pursue, it is a law that is not existing. And by him pursuing this law to come back here, is like he's introducing another burden on Kenyans. Cherargei is introducing a law that is going to hurt very many poor people. Because if my father had 1 acre of land, and the president by then, walitoa,
yes.
wakasema, ukichukua your land,
you're not supposed to
pay anything. It's called death tax.
Yes.
You are not to pay any death tax. Now Cherargei anasema sahi, baba yako kama amekufa na amewacha eka 2 ya shamba, ili serikali succession ikifanywa hiyo shamba itoke kwa babake kuje kwako, there is an eighth. Is it an eighth of the value of that land that the government takes and goes with it? You are burdening those people who are alive, and you are taxing people who have died. So these people are paying for people who have already died. It is not right. It is not appropriate. That thing as it is should stop there. Cherargei should stop the entertainment. He should go back as a senator and see the way tea farmers in Kericho and Nandi County can benefit out of his leadership. He should push for proper tea prices, not going and begin fighting opposition. Awachie William Ruto hiyo. Yeye ni legislator. He should be able to go there and begin making us laws that can help us. I feel the arrogance around the deputy president and the people associated with him, and even him and his deputy, they exhibit certain arrogance that costed Azimio. Azimio had this election to win, but the arrogance, they despised everybody. They looked perfect, and they trusted so much people who are their enemies. They forgot even their allies that have stood with them for far too long. Now they are believing new people. There is one advantage William Ruto has that Azimio lacked. William Ruto, if you are his friend, and I come as a new ally, he will not drop you and me I replace you, so that I'm the only one that who hangs out with him. No. He will also give you your role and give me my role, but all of us will continue to be there. Azimio had this character of looking like a use and dump kind of transaction. You are good, but when another best person comes, they drop you.
Yes.
They now use this guy. Even if you are not either. Jaramogi was a very good politician. Jaramogi, in his years that he was active in politics, he invested heavily on young, educated, exposed people around him. Wakina Pio Pinto Gama, those who are advisors, key strategists for Jaramogi, they were in their 20s and 30s. Or James Orengo became an MP at 27 years. Those are products of Jaramogi. But if you look at our team, especially Azimio, with the presidential candidate Baba, he's got this disadvantage of not knowing the current trends, because the majority of people who have surrounded him, most of them they're old guys, they're old folks. They had lived their time. Instead of even them living for their children now to take over,
yes,
they still want to eat what their children is supposed to eat. And that is why you find that we lost this election. Not because of anything else, but there was no stamina, intelligentsia, and input and energy of young people. They were pushed to the periphery. Nobody involved them. I pray that moving forward, for Baba to really get this thing right, I've seen him launching a resistance movement for young people. That is the right way to go.